Will the Senate please come to order? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Aquino. Senator Awa.
Here.
Senator Chang. Senator DeCoit. Senator DeCourt.
Here.
Senator Dela Cruz. Senator Elefante.
Here.
Senator Favela. Senator Fukunaga. Senator Gabbard. Senator Hashimoto. Senator Ihara.
Present.
Senator Inoue.
Present.
Senator Kanuha. Senator Keoho Kalole. Senator Kidani. Senator Kim. Senator Lee. Senator McKelvey. Senator Moriwaki.
Present.
Senator Rhodes. Senator Richards.
Here.
Senator San Buenaventura. Senator Wakai. Mr. President,
Present.
all 25 members are present.
Thank you. The chair has read the journal of the preceding day and approves the same. Are there any introductions this morning? Senator Awa.
Mahalo Pelikikena. I would like to acknowledge and welcome the students from Kahuku High School, all the way from the North Shore, coming to the Capitol today for a quick visit. They're here on a field trip with to visit Iolani Palace, and they're led by Mrs. Kaleo Hanohano. Welcome.
Thank you. Further introductions, Senator DeCoit.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is my pleasure to introduce a group of undergraduate students from the University of Hawaii at Manoa who are visiting the Capitol today. Students, when I call your name, can you please rise? Members, kindly hold your applause until the end. Please join me in welcoming Jordan Lonstein, Peyton Higa, Micah Schofield, Anthony Tirabasi, Professor Jeff Hui. Also accompanying them is Jaren Tingan and Jamila Pacheco from DHHL. Welcome to your Hawaii State Senate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further introductions. Before proceeding, Senator Awa, if you notice, I said I would come back with my left eye working, and the left side of the room, my left side of the room got called first for once today. Madam Clerk.
Beginning on page 1, Governor's message numbers 684, 685, and 691 withdraw nominations to various boards and commissions.
File.
Governor's message numbers 686 to 690 transmit nominations to various boards and commissions.
Governor's message numbers 686 to 690 are referred in accordance with the referrals listed on the order of the day.
On page 3, Departmental Communication number 315 transmits a report.
File.
Also on page 3, Introduction of Measures, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 17 and Senate Resolution number 13 for referral to committee.
So ordered.
On pages 3 to 5, Standing Committee Report numbers 711 to 721, and on pages 12 to 13, Standing Committee Report numbers 793 to 804 for adoption.
If there are no objections from the members, we will be taking all items on the... Senator Wakai.
Mr. President, I move for the adoption of Standing Committee Reports numbers 711 to 721 and 793 to 804.
Senator DeCourt.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, so ordered.
On page 5, Standing Committee Report numbers 722 to 725, and on pages 10 through 12, Standing Committee Report numbers 775 to 792 for one-day notice, and on pages 5 through 10, Standing Committee Report numbers 726 to 774 for 48-hour notice.
So ordered.
Beginning on page 14, third reading.
If there are no objections from the members now on third reading, we will be taking third reading on consent. Do we have any, well, not any objections. So for the items listed, do we have any reservations? I have reservations on Bill Standing Committee Report 694, Senate Bill 283 for Senators San Buenaventura and Kidani. Any other reservations or no votes? Reservation for Senator Inoue and Fukunaga. And then I have reservations on Standing Committee Report 705, Senate Bill 1117 for Senators Inoue and Moriwaki. Any other reservations? Senator Fukunaga. Senator McKelvey. Any no votes? No, now we're getting to no votes. I have no vote for Senators Awa and DeCourt on Standing Committee Report number 704, Senate Bill 222. Any other no votes? Any reservations? And I have no vote for Senators DeCourt and Awa on Report 709, House Bill 1440. Any others? Reservations? And then my good eye is not as good as I thought, so I had 709, and I had 704. Oh, here it is. 705 I missed. 117, Senator DeCourt had no vote, and no vote for Senator Awa on 117. Any other noes or reservations? Madam Clerk?
Mr. President, I have remarks on Senate Bill 1620 that I would like to have inserted into the general.
So ordered.
Mr. President, on the consent calendar, we have 25 ayes for all bills except for Standing Committee Report number 704 on Senate Bill 222, Senate Draft 1, 23 ayes, 2 noes. On Standing Committee Report 705, Senate Bill 1117, Senate Draft 2, 23 ayes, 2 noes. And on page 18, third reading of House Bill 1440, House Draft 1, 23 ayes and 2 noes.
Thank you. All Senate bills on said pages have passed third reading. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Referrals and re-referrals.
Referrals and re-referrals are made in accordance with the supplemental orders of the day that may be filed later today.
No further business, Mr. President.
Are there any announcements today, Senator Kehoe-Kalole?
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to request a waiver of the public notice requirement pursuant to Senate Rule 21 to hold a hearing on Senate Bill 1365. Mr. President, this is an administration bill that was scheduled subject to re-referral to meet the decking deadline.
The waiver is granted. Senator Kehoe-Kalole.
Thank you. Your committees on Commerce and Consumer Protection and Ways and Means will hold a public hearing on Senate Bill 1365 this afternoon, February 27th, 2025, at 1 p.m. in Conference Room 221, and the notice was filed in the clerk's office yesterday afternoon.
Are there further announcements? Senator Rhodes?
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to request a waiver of the public notice requirement pursuant to Rule 21 to hold a decision-making meeting on Senate Bill number 242 SD1.
The waiver is granted. Senator Rhodes?
My apologies, I gave no reason for it. It was a scheduling snafu, and that has been finally worked out. And so thank you. Your committees on Judiciary and Ways and Means will hold a decision-making meeting on this measure tomorrow, February 28 at 10:14 a.m. in Conference Room 211. The notice was filed in the clerk's office yesterday afternoon. Mahalo.
Are there any further announcements? Senator De La Cruz?
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to request a waiver of the public notice requirement pursuant to Senate Rule 21 to hold a decision-making meeting on Senate Bills numbers 26, 1422 SD1, 1434 SD1, 1443 SD1, 1502 SD1, and 1612 SD1. Your committee is requesting this waiver to meet the first taking deadline.
The waiver is granted. Senator De La Cruz?
Thank you. Your Committee on Ways and Means will be holding a decision-making meeting on these measures tomorrow, February 28, at 10:05 in Conference Room 211. The notice was filed. The notice for Senate Bill numbers 1422, 1434, 1443, 1502, and 1612 was filed in the clerk's office this morning, and a notice for SB 26 will be filed this afternoon.
Are there any further announcements? If Senator Kehoe-Kalole?
Excuse me, Mr. President, I believe I misspoke. The hearing on SB 1365 will be conducted today at 1 p.m. in Conference Room 211 at the State Capitol. May I also be permitted a late introduction?
Please proceed.
Okay, joining us in the gallery are two guests who are visiting the Capitol, Denise Nakamura and Kolia Moua, and their tour guide, yes, please stand, and their tour guide, Nahilani Parsons, who was my first boss in this chamber when I worked for her as an intern in the Senate Judiciary and Labor Committee in the 2013 session. She is also now a constituent who lives in my Senate district, still my boss. Please welcome them to the Senate.
Any further announcements? If not, the chair has one. The deadline for filing standing committee reports on Senate bills for second reading is 6 p.m. tonight. Senator Wakai.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate stand adjourned until 11:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Senator Decourt.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. If there are no objections from the members, the Senate will stand adjourned until 11:30 a.m. tomorrow.